Before I left Brampton, there was nothing on the website that says they were going to be closed until we got here this morning and found out that they were closed. The same attitude that happens in Nigeria is what they have been doing here. The same attitude that happens in Africa, like for example now the Ethiopian embassy collects tax from the people in Canada. The same thing Africans have refused to change, and that's why the continent is in serious turmoil. So
I'm going back to Toronto again for nothing now. You understand? This is $100 to fuel this gas coming. I'm gonna fuel it $100 going back again. Driving my little kid for fools who don't care about others.
It doesn't matter how many times you come here. I spent $300. Came last night. I'm a student. I don't have $300 to spend. My rent is $300 a month. I spent $300 and I came all the way here. And for what? You come here and how do they treat you? They can't, there's no courtesy. They don't even treat you like you're humans. They just treat you like you're animals. And you're like, I am human. I deserve to. All you had to do 2 days ago was put something on the internet. People could have canceled their flights. This $300 I spent, I don't know where I'm going to get the money to come back. And I have to. I'm not Canadian yet. But the moment I become Canadian, I am burning this passport. I will burn it and I will never in my life get a Nigerian passport. Because of what? I have parents back home. The $300 I'm spending, my dad does not make $300 a month. The amount of salary he makes is not $300. And then I came here and I spent $300. And now I'm going to go back home with nothing.
Where is home?
London, Ontario. I had to get on a bus from London to Toronto. From Toronto here, I had to spend the night last night. I was looking for a hotel. Which hotel will you find under $100 in Ottawa? I got here this morning, nothing.
Tell me your name.
My name is Kemiola, Oluwa Kemiola.
Can you spell it for me?
Oluwakemi, and my last name is Ola, O-L-A.
Okay.
See, what you just saw here today shows you the level of corruption in Nigeria. Is very unethical. You give people appointment and nothing is done. Only for people to come here and you tell them, oh, you are not open. It's sad. You can see what's going on here. It's so sad. That shows the level of corruption in Nigeria.
Yeah. Hello, good day, Nigerians. Mazezoke here. A quick one and an update on the Nigerian guy that destroyed embassy cars in London. Okay, so the update is that the Nigerian embassy have issued a statement explaining what happened. And in the course of the destruction, the guy was apprehended by the police. Okay, so, and you can see on my right, or rather, you can see basically there the picture of the apprehension. The police took him away, and his name is actually on the screen. He's now known. He's a young chap, basically. The question is, we know many people have condemned what the guy has done. However, so many Nigerians actually see him as a hero. Some have actually said that whatever triggered him into doing that they have experienced more. And some said that, people started sharing the experiences, when I made the video of yesterday. And some people argue, basically show their anger on what Nigerian embassy does to them all over the world. It's not only London. One person actually, yesterday, that person is a member of the APC ruling class and is part of, basically he's a UK resident as well. He shared this. He shared how he took his son away from the university. Both of them drove to the embassy. However, they came about 20 minutes late. 20 minutes late. It wasn't their fault. The train had delay. And I think, according to him, the embassy closed by 1, or rather closes at 1. So you have to be there before then. Now, to his astonishment, as he was there, people were still coming in. People who knew someone were still coming in. People who could grease the palms of the staffs in there were still coming in. And everything he tried to come, everything he tried fell on deaf ears until he began frantically making calls. I won't mention the names of those he said he called, but eventually someone that knew someone who is high up there, basically came out, not anything, came out from the embassy and attended to him in a very cautious manner. So his argument is, while we do have good Nigerians, we do equally have bad ones. So in his argument, or in his explanation, the guy that initially denied him access, even when he had cogent reasons to be slightly late, was the bad one. And the guy that came in and accepted him in with his son was the good one. Okay. Another said that he's had the same experience in Austria, in Germany, in Italy, and in the United Kingdom. Now, there is a reoccurring decimal here. Every single person, 106 comment on the post so far within 14 hours of postage, even when it was posted in midnight. 114 comment. Not a single one had testimony that is positive. I mean, that's you don't need any other review to know that the Nigerian embassy in the diaspora, be it in the UK, America, Italy, Austria, or even in the Asian countries, majority of the people, what they said is that they do not like the way the embassy staffs speak to them. That they speak to people condescendingly, in a very condescending manner, without no atom of respect. And that is really sad. Again, people pay money for these services. A question that I want to ask is, these things are bound to happen, and it's the beginning, because unless the government changes its strategy, then this can only get worse. It might get to a point that someone can actually shoot an embassy staff. The embassy should do as much as, or rather the high commissions, must do everything possible to have less human contact. You apply for your passport, you come for physical capture. Yes, you get your passport sent to you. Of course, yes, you come in for your biometrics, isn't it? Your fingerprints are captured, then you go home. You pay for first class or pay for DHL, however you want to pay. These things get delivered in your house, signed for. Many people that have other nations' passport, they didn't go through this madness. You go, you do the necessary applications. Even most of these applications can be done online. Okay? I did my driver's license online, the Nigerian driver's license renewal. I did it online, and I renewed it online. And they told me, they said, okay, wait until you get sent SMS. You can come for a pickup. Because why? In the application, because the driver's license is only valid for 3 years. In the application, it actually says, do you want to use the old picture? I said, well, I'm old. So of course I want to use the old picture. That saves me time. So and I don't bloody care, because I printed out the slip, So whenever that thing is ready, I will go back and take it. So what I'm saying is technology can reduce the contact that the people have. But I think, if you want to drive that further, you can actually come to the conclusion that the reason why probably they do not want to use technology is that they still get the human contact in order to flex their clients or to flex Nigerians that come to renew their passports. Because if not, it does not make sense. Now, but there is a very fundamental worrying thing that happened, and that gets me worried. This guy destroyed the embassy. Suddenly, his passport became a trending item on the social media, and that's sad. The passport was still with the Nigerian embassy. And this guy is in the custody of the police. How come his passport found its way in the social media? This is evil, and this must be condemned by every single Nigerian. Every single person of conscience must condemn this. The embassy was in possession, or is still in possession, of his passport that he came to collect, that he couldn't find the collection slip. Now, suddenly, the moment they discovered this was the guy who snapped the picture, I see the picture here, but I'm going to make it blurred because I don't want to be part of those that will share a personal data. Where lies the data protection? Actually, if this guy would ever watch this video, I want him to sue the Nigerian embassy for making that passport, throwing it up in the open. In the EU, there is what they call data protection law. Okay, so you cannot disclose somebody's data protection law. We'll call it GDPR. So under the GDPR European law, you cannot disclose such information unless to the appropriate authorities. So to which authority would they have sent the information to? To MI5, MI6, or what? Or to the police? There is no way in 10 million years a British police would not have made this passport a public thing. Definitely, because you can see that the woman that snapped the passport, that's a woman. You can see from the fingers and the fingernail. So definitely, if we have a nation, for once, let us use this to set things right. Whoever snapped and shared this photo online should be prosecuted. We can't continue this way. We cannot continue this way. The revolution is coming. I keep saying it. The revolution is coming. I do not even mind to stick my own money to the guy in question and make sure he sues Nigerian government. He sues the embassy for mismanaging his personal data. There is no way that data, if by any extra British police wouldn't even need his passport. For what? All they need, as long as he's a legal resident in the United Kingdom, they would need his legal status, his first name, last name, date of DOB, date of birth, and that's it. But in the event that he gets, that someone requires that he provides his passport, nothing on earth will make a British police to, show the passports just like that. We have terrorist activities in the UK, and people within 1 hour, their houses get busted. They take, tons of information, passports, computers, laptops. Still, not a single information about those individuals until they are certain But look at a useless entity. Suddenly your citizen goes bizarre, goes bonkers, destroyed cars. Well, in legal terms, he has committed the act of vandalism. That is that is an offense. Fine. Take him to court on the offense of vandalizing those cars. One, your insurance company will pay. Then the police will now start their own prosecution. But on no account will you, the Nigerian embassy in London, this is a condemnable act. I am pissed. I am not happy that his data found its way in the public space and public domain. It has nothing. It has nothing. And on this case, I don't give a hook. I don't give a damn. The Nigerian embassy do not have any reason to make this data public. And this is one of those things they can never deny, because they are the ones that held the passport until the guy, because the guy couldn't get the passport. That was why he went on a rampage. Now, within the time of stepping out of the Nigerian embassy in London and the time he went on rampage, you can see when the police, from the picture at my left-hand side, you can see when the police arrested him. So how come within this shortest period of time, this picture, the bill data page of his passport is already online, trending. I had an argument with Kayode Ogundamisi on Twitter because he shared it without even blurring it out. I mean, because I thought Kayode should know better. That Kayode, he's lived in the United Kingdom for so long that he should know what GDPR and data protection is. He shouldn't join every other amateur in sharing such, vital information. I think we have to change the way we do things. I pray the young man that the police will leave him on bail, but I want to tell him he should sue the Nigerian embassy in London for making his data or for sticking him, with his data out there. Because actually, he could argue by the act of doing that, one, his data is already compromised. People who engage in online fraud will now have his data. He could, he could forever in the United Kingdom have bad credits, or someone could, he could be targeted. He becomes a victim. He will become a victim of probably even terrorism, because people want to say, okay, let's, people that support the government, they might want to harm him. So where lies the protection? Yes, one is not in support of what he has done, but equally, like I said in my first video, I still find it hard to condemn what he has done, because, I do not know what provoked him. And sometimes, let's not even say never, because there is this element of madness. Every human being has that element of madness and that element of insanity. It's a question of pray that you are not being pushed to that point of acting in this, in this stupid manner. Okay, so that's why I said on this video is more about the injustice of releasing his passport to the public. So the update here is, one, the guy is known, is a young chap. I don't want to go. I've decided I do not want to say not even his name. I don't bloody care. Why should I mention his name? Why should I say his name? Why should I say his date of birth? Yes, I have these details, but why should I say that? Those are his personal details. So it should not be in the public domain unless he chooses to. Okay? So that a government that ought to protect him, sometimes I don't even know that, even if he's a criminal, he still have that right of personal data protection. Not to talk about the embassy that has your data, that you paid them to do something for you, and they're basically, treating you in that manner. So that level of insanity that exists in every single one of us, I do not know what, might have led to him acting in that manner. I wouldn't do that. I hope so, and I pray so. I wouldn't do that. But he's done it. Charge him. This is United Kingdom. This is not Nigeria, right? So take him. The court will take its course. He's going to face some legal hurdles, and he'll find his day in court, and find him guilty or not guilty, whatever the case will be. Then let that be a legal thing, not just, as you guys do in Nigeria. Do you know sometimes it could be very annoying? You come to the embassy, people just walking as if they woke up. They just woke up. The way they just talk to you as if you're nobody. They just basically look at you from head to toe and just talk to you as if you're nobody, right? Just because you came to collect something you paid for. They're not doing you a favor, for Christ's sake. And sometimes we wonder why Nigerians are not patriotic. Huh? And some people will actually ask, of what good has Nigerian done to some of us? To every single Nigerian. We're talking about the guy in Taraba, Jalingo, yesterday, the same yesterday, about 30, people didn't even sleep. People did not sleep in Taraba. People left their houses last night running away from their houses. And yet they want to be proud of Nigeria. Well, I don't want to get into these things because it's annoying and it's emotional that we do not have the right leadership that will get angry when it's supposed to get angry and puts its feet down and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. This is Mazezoke once more. If the guy needs legal help, I'm willing to help. Let him sue the Nigerian embassy, and I want him to sue the Nigerian embassy London for disclosing his data and making his data public. Subscribe to the channel if you can, if you want. And I remain Mazezoke.